if you think about it, it's just such an interesting sort of cuspy time for them, because they're just beginning to enter into this time where they're going to be starting talking about retirement income. And in a way, retirement income is quite straightforward in that, you need some probably global corporate credit, which is going to give you some decent yields. But to go back to your point, maybe that's a bit questionable if we're just on this phase where global credit, we might have some blow-ups happening, and maybe we need to do our global credit in a more intelligent way than just, say, a passive global credit fund.
Yeah, I think you raise a really interesting point there. And I think about, again, if you were retiring in 2022 at the back, and you were safely, supposedly landing in a bond or a corporate bond portfolio, you wouldn't have been too happy with how your portfolio was doing, right? The reality is, firstly, that those retiring today or in the near future may have different needs in retirement. And so income is one of those. And it may be intergenerational wealth transfer, it may be something else. And maybe we're still 10 years away from people not just relying fully on their DC pot and not a blend of their DC, DB and other things, right? So I think that's one part of it that you're starting to see innovation around. But I think the other bit is actually income is available through lots of different strategies and asset classes. And actually in a environment that is rebuilding post some kind of crash, post some kind of bubble bursting, everything from equity income to other parts of the income kind of universe can be quite resilient companies. And so again, here for me, this is not about equities, bonds, or bonds, government bonds and credit, but it's really thinking about what is our end beneficiary want, need, and understanding that, listening to them. And secondly, thinking about, in the multitude of market regimes we may face, how might we best build that portfolio with much more nuanced building blocks, and critically, how do we recognize that we might be wrong and have hedges and parts of our portfolio that will do well if our forecasts are wrong, and diversified along that. And I think that's really the mindset shift, and it's a bit of a cultural change.